Gotta be quiet. All right. So here's what I've gotten from one of my 120 students. We'll go to it. Now, this is what we've got so far. Now, one thing that she didn't do is she didn't have it in order. And what I told students to do is to put it in order by, who's leading. Now, you can put it on the right. You should put it on the left. We tried to do that, and it had a cow. So, because that's what way polls are done. They put, in order by who's leading. You hit sort right here. Do not hit this because that's going to sort by the what? First column. You have to hit the sort button and you have to tell it by which column. And I put column F, and when I do that, it does that. So now I got to do it in another order. And I hit column F, and then I hit largest to what? Smallest. And when I do that, it messes it up. So I'm going to change it. That's equal to this divided by, I think she said 30. Let me add these up and see what I get. Hold on, I'm fixing her stuff. 24. So equals this, parentheses, this divided by this to be, and then multiplied by 100. Multiplied by 8100. Okay. There. That's what it's supposed to be. And I forgot to lock 100. Yes. F6. Is that not F6? Divided by, oh, that's what's wrong. I didn't lock F15. F4. Now, why didn't put Trump in there? I guess it don't want to put Trump in there. He did. He did. And I think Ben Carson will get in the top 5. I think Ben Carson will do better than Bush. Okay, I don't know why it's not. Okay, I'm just going to delete this. It's messed up for some. You should be able to go in and do it, and I don't know why it took Trump out. You're supposed to be able to highlight it, and it's not picking up Trump for some reason. So I'm going to go through here, and go through home, insert, chart, 3D. I know why it's doing it. Because I'm doing 2 columns. Okay, I didn't have this much trouble before. I don't know why I'm having trouble now. But anyway, put it in order, and you'll see something like this. Now, for the report, you need to print this out on one page. So you go here, hit print. Right here, hit print. Okay, well, I want it. Select data. Well, I want it printed. You should be able to print the data. I don't know why it won't print, but y'all need to figure that out because I don't have a printer, so maybe that's why it's not doing it. What really bothers me is it's not picking up these numbers, and that really bothers me because it's supposed to be picking up all the numbers, and it's picking up this one, but it's not picking up. So, I don't know. All right, but that's one poll. Second poll would be this. That's the Democratic poll, which that ain't going to be, I don't know who De La Fuente is. I don't know who that is. But she interviewed a lot of Mexican people, so I don't know. De La Fuente, I don't know. You know, Google that and find out who that is. But that'll be pretty easy. The Democrat, that'll be pretty easy. She got into the frequency. Now, this is what you better watch. What's that say? Why do you not want to have all the above on a poll? Because it takes away your specificity, your detail on the other ones. Just think of it kind of like covering up your presentation, because that's what you're doing, because all the above is going to mess up your data for these. Okay? I wouldn't use other either. Take other out and all the above. That's what I would do. Because you asked a while ago about other. Now, could you use other for who would you like to vote for? Yes, you could. You could use other, but you have to have a blank for them to put the name of the. And then if you get enough people, like she said, and who was your other? Mickey Mouse. She actually had a lot of people say Mickey Mouse in the Democratic side. Then you could put, you know, if you get more than 3 or 4, then yes, you could put Mickey Mouse in your graph. But you need to put a note. And the reason I said that is because you can't just go into a presentation and say Mickey Mouse and everybody laugh. You've got to explain why Mickey Mouse is on your graph. So you put a note down at the bottom and say Mickey Mouse was written in by several people, and you put the 17 out of 30 to be president of the United States by the Democratic police or something like that. So those are the two things I would take out. And what you're going to see probably is national security and economy is usually going to be your top 2 unless you have a younger group. If you have a younger group, it's going to be spread out because young people don't watch what? The news. So they don't know what half these things are. So they're just going to guess. But if you have an older group, the older group is usually going to lean more toward economy and national security. But you see what happens. And immigration. Now here's where she messed up. Here is what she had. Okay? And she tried to do relative frequency. You can't do that with a frequency distribution. So what I want you to do is I want you to write that in gray down. Write that down. Write this down right here. Because you're going to have this with either socioeconomic or you're going to have it with age. You're going to have a frequency distribution. So, and I've showed you this several times, but I want you to find the mean and the standard deviation for that gray area.
If we're going to do the frequency distribution, we want it for something like that as opposed to like with candidate.
Say again?
When we're doing the frequency distribution, should we do it like which candidates occur the most, or should we do it with like age or something like that?
Frequency distribution is going to be done with age and socioeconomic, which means income. No, you're not going to be able to do a frequency distribution for, you could, but you're not going to be able to find the mean and standard deviation because you're going to have bush and names. You can't find a midpoint of a name. So,
I was thinking like a frequency of response.
yeah, no, you want to do what they did up here for the right there, the relative frequency. Don't get the names mixed up. Just write down the head count and put that over that and multiply it by 100. But this area right here, I want you to copy this down, and I want you to find the mean and the standard deviation. And if you can't, just consider yourself fill in the blank, a failure, and you should live in the ditch. With a curling iron. Yep. Yeah, gotta look nice in the ditch. Never know when you might go to the ditch nightclub. Oh, I gotta tell y'all what I did last night. So I'm sitting and watching the news or whatever. My son's sitting there. No, we were watching Iron Man, and I got this thing on Facebook, and it was a invite for the Frank Luntz focus group. None of y'all know what that means, right? No. Well, this guy, write this down and I'll show you. And y'all should be interested because it is statistics. Okay? The Frank Luntz focus group is he's making millions of dollars by doing these focus groups. And it's just something that he thought about doing. And see, that's what's so amazing. He thought about this and started doing it, and now he's on every television, every news channel, all he does is this. This is all he does. And it's just amazing. But he does it in a certain way. And what he does is he sits 30 people down in front of a camera, and he asks them questions. And they dial in, and they do this dial and stuff, and then they answer questions. And it's not like rocket science. The way he does it. But anyway, in Greenville, he's going to have a focus group. And I got an invite to do a focus group. And I had to answer 40 questions. And I did. I answered all 40 of them. And I'm waiting to see if I'm going to be on TV. Boy, I can't wait till he asks me a question. I'm going to let him have it. I'll say the RNC is dictatorship. Join the revolution. That's what I'm going to say. Y'all heard about Donald Trump calling it a revolution. It is. I think it is, or a movement. Not only on the Republican side, but where else? On the Democratic side, too. You can't get people to vote for Hillary. I mean, there are people that's going to vote for her, but when she tries to get people to vote for her that's not usually going to vote for her, they tell her to go jump in the lake, or they might write in who? Mickey Mouse. No, this is the only way that you can do age, pretty much, unless you're going to write down every single age. And that would be a pain. You do use this right here. No. This right here, the gray part, that's called a frequency distribution. Okay, that's what you're going to be using. You can't do this right here with a frequency distribution. That's where she messed up, and that's why I'm showing her the only thing you can do with a frequency distribution is find the mean and the standard deviation. So that's what I want you to do. Now, what do you have to have? You have to have X, and you have to have what? F. F is given. There's F right there. Okay? That's given. You've got to find X. And what is X? The midpoint, Hubert. That's right. The midpoint. You were correct. No, I'm being sarcastic. So, how do you find the midpoint? lower class limit plus upper class limit divided by 2. Come on, Zuko. You can do better than that. Kaniki didn't make it today. Huh? Kaniki. She had on a brown leather jacket. Y'all don't watch Grease? Okay. All right. Kaniki, they're supposed to have 2 black leather jackets, but evidently they didn't have a black leather jacket when they were doing it. Kaniki had on a brown leather jacket, and Zuko had on a black leather jacket. Well, the other day, y'all had on black leather jackets and blue. Don't forget. Got to explain everything. I just, I might as well just quit. All right. What, you got it?
The math, not the...
Okay, you still hadn't got the Zuko and the...
I know what
Upload. All right, so here we go. This guy is the midpoint of 11 and 17. 11 plus 17 is 28. Half of 28 is what? And then you just add the class width, which is 7 to each one. You missed my whole presentation on this thing. Okay. This right here is what she did. She did a frequency distribution. You with me? But she tried to do the relative frequency with the frequency distribution, and you can't do that. The only thing you can do with a frequency distribution, which y'all will use in age and economic, socioeconomic, is mean and standard deviation. So you can't do a relative frequency, so you can just mark this out, because that's not correct. I mean, you can do a relative frequency, but it doesn't mean as much as it did with the above ones. It just don't work right. Okay, so you got to have your midpoint, which is 11 plus 17. 28 divided by 2 is 14. And then add 7. That's where I was. You walked in. And then here's F. F is given. And then here is x squared. Why I got to have x squared? Because the formula tells you got to have x squared. Now once you have x, f, x squared, and what? N. What do you need after you need f times x, and you need what? F times x squared. So write those down. And then once you have those 5 columns and n, you've got everything you need for the formula. You can do a frequency distribution, but I just don't think she did it correctly. Hold on, let me check. There was some reason that I picked it out. Equals 1. Oh, parentheses. That's what it was. Parentheses 1 divided by 14 multiplied by what? 100. That's right there. I appreciate the interaction. I don't know what I'd do without y'all. Always interacting. Makes class go faster. Don't skip lines, because when you skip lines, put a bunch of zeros in there, and then I got to delete them. So, does she have a normal distribution? No. Good God, will you please leave? All right, so what do? Well, the mean is equal to what? What's the mean equal to with a frequency distribution? I'm asking y'all, that's not rhetorical. Over I am so proud of you. I'm so proud that one person out of the whole group knew what the answer to that question was. The rest of y'all suck. All right, so 47 is going to be the mean, which is 658 divided by 14. Now, how do you find the standard deviation? Well, you got to take the square root of the variance, but what's the variance? Well, what's this number? N times what? Minus, what's that? That's F times X, quantity what? Squared. So that's 658 raised to the second power. All over N times what? Good. And now you crank those out, and you get, here's your mean, and we'll do that in a pretty color, dang old magenta. And we'll do this in dang old pretty color. Better do it in that fluorescent green. Now, I want somebody to look at those two numbers and tell me what you think. Huh? Oh, you figuring something? You ciphering? I asked a student if they were ciphering one day, and they looked at me like I was the craziest person in the world. Look it up. Ciphering. Isn't it C-I-P-H-E-R-I-N-G? Isn't that right? Does anybody know what ciphering means? Yeah? What's ciphering? Decoding. Coding. Figuring out. It's your parents' fault.
I have a sucking gas in the car.
That's siphoning. Hey, I'm going to tell you something. I don't tell too many people this, but it wasn't until about 3 years ago that I found out that Chester drawers is not Chester drawers, it's chest of drawers. 3 years ago, I figured that out. I didn't either. I thought all these years for 40, at that time I was 40, I'm 48 or 49 right now, so that was 45, 46, somewhere in there. I thought it was Chester drawers. And I also thought that your shoe size was in inches. It's not. I always thought I had a 10.5-inch foot. That's not right. I don't know what it's measured in, but it's not in inches. You learn all kinds of stuff. That's why I like to have a class that you learn more than just math. Now she knows that there's a difference between ciphering and siphoning. And somebody in here knows that Chester drawers is chest of drawers. They just don't want to admit it. Or did you say you know that? I didn't either. All right, so what does this data tell you after you cipher over it? That it's a pretty color or what? Nope. Sloppy. Why? Because the standard deviation is half the what? The mean. I would say that this data is out of kilter, out of balance, out of wampus. If you don't know what that means, wash towels and put all your towels on one side of the washer. See what happens. It's called out of wampus, out of balance, out of kilter. So what should you do? Say, screw it and just turn it in, or what? No. What's the problem? Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. What's the problem? Not enough surveys. And she told me, she said when she turned in, she said, oh, I forgot to add the rest of them. She has like 36 to 40. She forgot to add them. She said, I'm sorry, I forgot. I said, that's okay. You brought it up. This is good. Because this right here tells me that something's wrong, and just as soon as I did that, I looked and there it is. Or she did it at Anderson Place where everybody's in a wheelchair. I can say that because I'm 49 and I think I'm 49. 66 to 2016 is 50. Yeah, I'm 49. When you're born in December and January, it sucks trying to figure your age out. Okay? 47, that should be like 3. So, what threw her out of kilter? And that's why I was saying Anderson Place in wheelchairs, because these 5 threw everything out of kilter. Now, why did that happen? Well, she didn't put the rest of her numbers in this time. Okay, so remember, and that's her data. That's it. So remember that, you know, when you have a frequency distribution, you're going to have, now what does the frequency distribution look like? Well, you could do this, insert, and just do a bar chart. Is there a normal distribution? Okay, I got one. No. I think that was a no. Okay. All right, is there a normal distribution? Well, take your handy dandy virtual marker and, okay, does that look like a normal distribution? So everybody should say, y'all suck. Now, if you was to have had something like this, would that be like a normal distribution? Yes. Close. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you. You know, enunciate and volume. All right, who's got questions? Now, you had questions. You had a question. What was your question you were asking about? Okay, well, let's say you wanted a pie chart. Okay, yeah. Pie charts are good when you're doing relative frequency. So you hit this, and you hit delete. Okay, let's try it again. Delete. Okay. Cut. There. And you go up here and you hit insert. And you hit pie chart. Dang old 3D, dang old donut. There you go. Yeah, but you need to put your values in there. So you might want to hit this, put data table. See there, ain't that neat? Feel good about yourself? And you put it on the outside in. That's called the relative frequency. Yes, there it is right there that I just moved.
How'd you get to the thing that lets you display the numbers?
What'd you say?
How'd you get to the thing that lets you display the numbers?
Add. See that add right there? And then data tables, data labels. If you want to, huh? You do what you want to with the candidates. Right here, you could do a pie chart. But you're going to have to, what you might do, let's do this. Let's go, let's do that. Insert, pie chart. I like the 3D. I like that. And you see, but you can't do 2 columns because 2 columns ain't going to work. You've got too much junk there. So we're going to get rid of that. And I'm going to take this column. I'm going to put right here. And I'm going to take this column. And I'm going to put right here. Really? divided by, hold on, parentheses, this, divided by this, have 4, close parentheses, divided by, or multiplied by 100. Now, all right, you with me? And now I'm just going to take this and insert. I like the 3Ds. Okay, why didn't it do it? Insert. There. Now, let's say I wanted to change some things. Data, look at there. Ain't that pretty? And you can see that. And I don't like it. Well, that's okay. You could do it like that. Best fit. It didn't like that. Center, don't do that. Don't do that. Inside in, don't do that. Outside in, you can do it, but there's some overlap. Best fit is usually, there we go. Now we're talking. Look at there. I like that. And you can move them around. You got to work a little bit to move them around. See? That bush, he's tearing it up, buddy. I'm going to tell you what. I'm just tired of people talking about my family. You know why Donald Trump goes after him so much? That's fine. And doesn't Bush start his own? He starts it. I'm trying, people. Just hold on. I'm showing you how to move these things. I'm glad it's getting down to 3 or 4, because this is ridiculous. I'm trying to move it. Y'all with me? Probably gonna have to lose the daggum title because you can't see the damn thing. There. Now, why would I want you to do the table like I've got it right here? Because I can't see everything because there's so many daggum. But as y'all can see, who's winning? Trump. And who sucks? Pretty much Bush. He's the only one that sucks. The rest of them are okay. I mean, look at it. Santorum even beat daggum Bush. That's a good way to do it right there. And then you can tilt it. I don't know where it is because I'm not used to doing this new, but you can actually tilt it. You could do that. You could do that. You could do this. There's a way you can tilt it. You can break it up. Okay? You can do all kinds of things with it. That's up to y'all to play with. You can take people out. Take Gilmore out. Take Fiorina out. Take Cruz out. You know, you can do that. I'm just... I don't know if she's got that. She don't have that on here, but we can do it. Let's say that for the Republican, let's say male is 25 and female is 15. And for the Democrats, now you could do this. You could put Republican right here and you can put Democrats right here and do it as one chart. Let's say there was 15 men and 25 women, because most of the time women are more Democratic than men as far as Republican versus Democrat. And that's just because the way women are wired versus the way men are wired. Hunter versus caretaker. So you take this and you dang old bar chart would probably be the best. And the way you would do that is insert, and I like the 3D, so I'm going to go with 3D bar chart, and look at there. That's how you do it. Now, if you wanted to change, you just click on there and go to format. I'm not used to this one. I'm used to, no, that's not what I want. Okay, there we go. Make sure that it highlights both of them. Chart type, maybe. No. I'm not used to this. You'll just have to bear with me. You should pull up the color. Oh, here we go. Outline, field. There we go, field. And I'm going to pick a pink or mauve. I'm not surprised I knew that was a mauve. There we go. Now, if you don't like that, you go to fill, go to more colors, and let's give it a little bit more of a pinkish. Heck, done. Can't even get pink anymore. How about that? There. And let's say you wanted to make this a little bit bluer. You go to fill, and we want it a little bit bluer. Go to more colors. Dang, I'll get this blue right here. There you go. Let's say you wanted to add the tables. Go here. Now, do you see that? I don't like didn't add the women. Why didn't it add the women? Oh, because I'm clicked on it. That's why. Okay, here we go. Data table. There they go. Now watch this. Data tables, and then hit the little scroll bar, and you could either do it like that, or you can find more options. I like that. Or you could go, just leave it, put them in there, and then go down here and move them. See? You know where I learned how to do this stuff? When I was in college, and when I was doing president's reports in the first 7 years that I worked. That's where I learned how to do this stuff. So why am I so slow? Because I'm not used to these right here. You used to have to right click, and then you would go to this stuff down here, and I'm not used to this. So it was an older version that I was brought up on. Dang old Windows. What is it now? Windows 10. I was on like Windows 3 and 4. Okay. Question. Who's got another question? Now, what if you wanted to do relative frequency? Relative frequency, you got to have N. Move this over for a second. So, what is N? Well, you got to add, here's N. Let's see. Well, it all depends on what you want. Do you want men or women or whatever? So, N here would be all men. Here's your men. And here's your women. Okay, luckily they're both 40. So this would be how many men are Republican, how many men are Democrat. You could do that. So here we go. Equals this divided by this. And F4. No. We're going to do each one. And then equals this divided by this. I'm going to change the women I'm gonna change this to 12 and this to 20. I want to give two different, I don't want it to be the same number, okay? And equals this divided by this, and equals this divided by this. And now you could do this: Republican, Democrat, male, and female. Change these into percentages. And now you could do that. Dang old. You could do a pie chart here. Insert. Pie chart. Oops, sorry. See there? You could do that. Or you could do that, still have the same. The only difference is you got to put in the data labels, and now the difference would be what? They're what? Percentages instead of numbers. So that's however you want to do that. Does that answer your question there? Okay. What else? What other questions you got? No other questions. Y'all don't have any other questions at all. I covered it so well that y'all were okay. I'm going to let y'all go early today because I want y'all to hurry up and get home before the storm hits. And everybody go buy bread and